You're all doing well.
Hi, Anupam. How are you doing?
Good to see you.
Quite well. Good to see you.
Yeah, we will begin momentarily.
Yes. Hi, Andrea Armani. I see you there.
Good to see you too.
Wait for one more minute before we officially begin.
I presume our students are all joining too, right?
We'll celebrate them regardless.
I think we have a few here.
Indeed. It's 7 o'clock in California, so I think we can get going with our celebrations this evening. Welcome, everyone. Greetings. And my name is Srinarayan. I'm a professor in electrical and computer engineering and the director of the Ming-Hsieh Institute. It gives me great pleasure to host this evening's celebration. We are set to be here together for at least an hour and a half, to celebrate our graduates. So this is actually one of the most joyful times in the university, and certainly for many of the professors as well in celebrating, the students, reach this amazing milestones. Especially our PhD students have gone through this incredibly challenging journey, but and reach the finish line, so to speak, only to get started for greater things ahead. And so I know we are all on Zoom, and it's not the same as being together on campus with everyone running up around with their robes, and it's like a general you can very palpable, but we'll try to sort of at least recreate some of it. I know we won't have the various lunches and celebrations, but we'll make up for it in the upcoming years. But today, nonetheless, we get a chance to celebrate our PhD students. What used to be sort of this event usually is held just after the PhD hooding ceremony. That's one of the my favorite sort of events in a year, every year. That happens in the board hall. It's lots of pomps and circumstance, which USC does very well. And we come back to sort of the electrical engineering building and celebrate it. But today we are on Zoom. But the good news is, we are able to bring together. I see people from all over the world, right? That's made possible by this connection. So in the future, we'll still have a hybrid sort of celebration where people could join from everywhere in the world to celebrate, their PhD sort of candidate or PhD graduate, I should say. So getting a PhD is not an easy thing, right? It's trying to be a grown-up while trying to learn to be a grown-up, so to speak. The moment you enter, you're thrust with lots of responsibilities, lots of expectations, both self-imposed and by people around, and in search of things you're going to invent and discover and so on. But the journey itself is very joyful, I think, even though it has moments of frustration. The journey of the moment of finding something, sort of discovering a new idea, publishing it, sharing with people, all of that is great. So today, there are many professors, PhD advisors who have been a part of this journey, join us, and and we'll have a chance for them to talk about you, each of you this evening. And so to kick off things, I'm going to introduce the chairs of our department. I see Professor Richard Leahy here, and let me see if Professor Tony Levy is here as well. But nevertheless, let me call Richard to the stage. Okay. Richard.
Thank you, Sri. So let me start by saying congratulations to all of you. As you all know, the PhD is the highest level of academic achievement that you can get. And as you also all know, it's just a tremendous amount of work. So well done. It's a real milestone in your lives. So I have to say, in my younger days, I was really very cynical. And I used to avoid graduation day at USC. In fact, I avoided my own graduation day as well. I moved to America instead. But over time, it's one of my favorite occasions, celebrating the achievements of all of our students who graduate from the department. And we have more than 600 students that graduate every year. It's just fun. It's a unique experience to sit on the stage at the Galen Center and shake hands with more than 500 happy, occasionally ecstatic students who are graduating from our master's program. I'm exaggerating, actually. It was 250 for me and 250 for Tony, but between us, that's a lot of graduates to congratulate. But even better than this, it's the annual PhD hooding ceremony that a lot of us look forward to. It's a recognition of every graduate's many years of hard work, and it's made particularly personal by the fact that each of their advisors places the ceremonial hood on their students, the students that they have mentored. So it's a special event, and of course, I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. This is the second year we haven't been able to hold the event, but I believe that the university may hold it in the future, and perhaps some of you can come back. But I wanted to note the particular significance of this PhD graduation. It's special for all of us. And I hope that at least many of you can participate in the in-person graduation events that are planned at the Coliseum in the next few days. Of course, as Shreya said, one of the nice advantages of the Zoom event is that your families can join us from around the world, many who couldn't have been here in person. And it's a wonderful facet of our graduation celebrations, and indeed of USC, and particularly of our department. We're truly an international family. Most of our students come from overseas, and this is a wonderful celebration of that. So I'm going to come back in a few minutes to say a word about one of my students who's graduating this summer. But meantime, I hope you and your families enjoy this event. And again, congratulations to all of you. And of course, best wishes for a long, fruitful career in your chosen field. Shri, thank you.
Great. Thanks, Richard. I need to mention our Ming Hsieh Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering is one of the largest departments in the university. And in fact, it was the first endowed department in the Viterbi School of Engineering, and has faculty that have storied careers. And in fact, students and our graduates have continued to have their own storied careers. So many of you from the ECE department are sort of, follow that legacy. But our faculty are also very interdisciplinary. In fact, many of the colleagues that are here today also are either have appointments in other departments or have primary appointments in other departments. And that also sort of shows this sort of interconnected nature of our department. And you'll hear about that from the students, the diversity in the kinds of research our graduate students here to represent. So you will hear that today. So next I want to introduce another very, very, very important person in our department, Diane Dimitris. She's, for generations, she's been sort of the guiding force, or we call her the EE mom, right, for all our PhD students, right? Through their joys and their frustrations, she's always been there. And so Diane, here, the stage is yours. Diane is multi-talented, in many ways. She usually, completes the hooding ceremony with a rousing rendition of the USC song. But today, she'll just share her words.
Right. No song today, but you can imagine it, I guess. I just wanted to say to each and every one of you how much I admire you. I admire your perseverance, your smarts, your willingness to go above and beyond. Every single person that I come in contact, every PhD student has treated me well. Whether your path was smooth or rough or bumpy or bifurcating or straight on through, you've always treated me really well. And I hope the same can be said about me, that I've treated you well. I know that the PhD is hard and it's different for everybody. And I've just tried to kind of clear the way and sweep the path, just like my own home. Sweep it so that we put away the chairs and we make the path a little clearer, turn on the lights so you don't trip. And I hope that your PhD has been smoother because of our office and has been as smooth as it can be. But I wish every one of you the best of luck in going forward. You know, this is just the beginning. It's the beginning of research. If that's what you want to do the rest of your life, it's never ending. And it's the beginning really of your adult life. I mean, you're all adults, of course you are, but I mean, this is a new chapter for you to go forward and realize whatever else comes your way. So congratulations. I know most of you. I'm looking at all the names and some that I haven't seen for a while. And I wish you the best of luck. And don't be a stranger. Come back and visit me. I will remember you for sure. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you so much, Diane. So in fact, talking about the campus, right, you should come back. You know, some of us have started, we've been going there, but started going there more regularly, and it's been nice. The campus looks great. Lots of construction still going on, but I hope we'll all be able to gather there soon enough, to continue all the celebration. So this is how the rest of the evening is, or this event is going to look like. For some of you, I see it's good. It's the morning, and so what I'm going to do is to call the PhD advisor to come on. I'll call, and they will introduce their graduate and say a few words. And I hope everyone stays for it. It's going to be long, but I really enjoy the stories we hear from the advisors about their students. And let's get going. So first, I'm going to call Richard Leahy, professor in signal processing, to come on.
Thanks again, Sri. So I'd like to congratulate Soyoung Choi. Soyoung, before I say something, perhaps you can say hello so your face will appear on the screen there. I know you're there.
Hello.
There you are. Congrats.
Thank you for the invitation, by the way.
So I want to be the first to congratulate you on completing your PhD so young. And I know I'm the first because you haven't actually completed it yet. You still have to do your defense in a few weeks, but I'm sure that's going to go well. So I came to know Soyoung before she started her PhD. She was working as a lab assistant with Hannah Damasio in psychology, and she was analyzing brain images. And at that time, she started working with the other folks in my group on developing and validating software for brain image analysis. And I thought, well, she would just make a great PhD student. She's smart, personable, hardworking, everything you could want. So as many of you know, and I'm sure many of you did, you choose a particular program or a department because you want to work with a particular faculty member. In this case, it was me who decided that I would join the USC Neuroscience graduate program as a faculty member so that I could supervise Soyoung's PhD, which I did, and she was admitted to, she's in the neuroscience graduate program, actually, not the electrical engineering program. It clearly paid off. She has done some wonderful work. She studied the impact of sickle cell anemia on the brain and found some very interesting results. And in fact, not just sickle cell anemia, but all forms of anemia and its impact and the differences between male and female brains and the impact of anemia there. It's very, very important work, I believe. This was jointly with me and John Woods, who's a cardiologist at Children's Hospital. Soyoung has been an absolute pleasure to work with. I'm sure she's going to be very successful. She has a new position as a postdoc starting at Vanderbilt in Nashville as soon as she graduates. She's been she's a fun person to work with. Last time I saw her, she brought me a piece of cake. What more can you ask for from a student? So congratulations, Soyoung. Perhaps you'd like to say something.
Oh, thank you so much. I didn't know I was going to talk. Yeah, I've been at USC now for 14 years or something. And I have been living in Los Angeles for the past 30 years, maybe. And so I'm very afraid of moving, but it is time for me to leave. I just wanted to say really, yeah, thank you for taking me on, Richard. I mean, I think you have just played such a significant part, played a significant role in my life. I feel very proud when I do say that, you know, when I do say that Richard is my mentor. I feel honestly just so honored and blessed to have been part of under your advisement and with the people that you have brought together in our lab. I think it's just been really, also Richard has a mentorship award, and I have been firsthand witness to why he is deserving of such an award. So yeah, and if I didn't meet Richard, I would be somewhere else, you know, right now. So I just want to say thank you for yeah, just for everything and the mentorship that you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats to both of you. Thank you. So we have about 30 students to go through. So I request people to be pointed in their share in celebrating, so that we will keep it within time. I'm happy to stay however long. This is very fun journey, but I'm sure people want to do other ways of celebrating. So the next person I want to call on my list is Professor Murali Annavaram. Murali, are you here? Because I can't see on my screen yet, or we can wait. And the nice thing is he's not here yet. So to celebrate Krishnanara, we'll come back, and I will call. I know I see Professor Andrea Armani here, so let me call Andrea to stage to celebrate Dr. Chen.
Fabulous. So I'm really glad that Richard went first, because this is the first time I've ever come to one of these. So that takes a good. I'm glad I had a great representative or example, although I'm sorry, Sri, because apparently he went overtime. So I'm super happy to be able to congratulate Dongyu, although I really wish we were doing this in person, like has been said. So Dongyu joined my group in 2015, and kind of the path that was described, usually you either come to a university or come to an advisor, and Dongyu came to me because I really recruited him very hard, because he had the perfect kind of combination of research background, but then just passion and love of science that you always want to have in a PhD student. And that, passion and just intrinsic and innate curiosity took him into both doing a lot of resonator physics in my group, but also working with a lot of the biomedical engineers in my group, doing modeling of diagnostics, as well as just kind of working with everybody who needed help. Anytime anyone had a question, they would just go and tap him on the shoulder. And, so in many ways, I'm super glad he's going off to Oculus. He's going to have a great time. He's going to have a wonderful career, but he's going to be this really big hole that's going to be very hard to fill, because he was always the go-to, resource in the group, and always super happy to help. But I will hand it over to Dongyu, because we're supposed to be short. So thank you, Sri.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much. Dongyu.
Yes. So thank you, Andrea. So I'm super glad to be in your lab and spend the last 5 years in the group. And yeah, so to be short, I'm happy and graduate, but I also love the lab so much. And hopefully I can come back and visit the lab, probably maybe when the COVID is over. Yeah. So, and thank you, Andrea, for having me in the lab. And thank you, everyone.
Congratulations, thank you. So the next professor that I would like to invite is Professor Mike Chen. Is he here yet? Because I think people are running between. If he's not here, then I will jump to, I know Rahul Jain is there. Professor Rahul Jain is he's here. Rahul, please come on.
Hi, Shri, thank you. So I would like to congratulate Mehdi, my student. It's been a great pleasure working with him over the last few years. So in his dissertation, he worked on some quite challenging problems on online reinforcement learning. These are problems of a lot of interest to me. And he really opened up a new and exciting direction in my research program. And he's been a model student, very sincere, very thorough. I have really enjoyed working with him, and I would like to congratulate him on almost completing excellent dissertation he's yet to defend, and would like to wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors.
Thank you, Rahul. Well, you also had Nathan.
Yes, so I don't know if you're going to, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So Nate is another model student. Is very thorough, very careful, very reliable. The two of them are graduating together. So I hope I can find similar students soon. Nate, in particular, he's unique in some sense. He's one of those. I think he's the only student I've ever had would come to every meeting with typed notes. And I wish I can get more such students. He's really meticulous. He came in with an interest in sustainability, and he worked on market design problems for electricity markets with renewable energy, and worked on some really challenging problems. And it's been a great pleasure working with him, and I would like to congratulate him and wish him the best of luck in his future endeavors.
Great, congrats. In fact, I remember Nate as an undergrad researcher in my lab. It's such a pleasure to see them, complete the Trojan journey. Full congrats. Mehdi, want to say a few words?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I actually wanted to thank you all for coordinating this, and special thanks to Professor Jain for these excellent years that I had during my PhD. I learned a lot from various aspects, and special thanks to my lab mates, and also great community, great friends that I found during my PhD at USC. And yeah, as Diane said, this is just the start, and I'm so excited about the future.
Thank you. Is Nate here? There he is. Hey, Nate.
There.
Congrats.
Hi, Shri. I want to say thanks to everybody, in particular, Professor Jain. I've been amazed at how much I have learned in my PhD career at USC here. Did my undergrad and worked for a while, decided I wanted to come back. And it, has really been another kind of round of just mind expansion in all ways. Professor Jain has really encouraged me to push the limits that I had set on myself, and just not be afraid of any challenges. So I've appreciated that. He's taught me the value of slowing things down and simplifying problems until you can kind of really understand what's going on and where you're getting stuck. So it's lessons that you can use outside of engineering also. So yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks to Diane for all the help that you've given me over these years. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what comes next.
Congratulations, best wishes. So let me see. The next person, professor, I would like to call is Professor Yoon-Suk Kim. Iske, are you?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay.
Great. Welcome.
Okay,
welcome.
Thank you. So I've been a faculty member for 30 years, a little over 30 years, and I have had excellent PhD students. And 6 of them have gone to academics, and they are doing very well. Among all those excellent PhD students, I would rank Yoon-Ki Tang among the top 3. And it's no wonder that he got the best RA award last year. And he's writing a thesis, and I expect his thesis to be completed within 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks or so. Will be such outstanding thesis that it'll definitely be a strong candidate for best thesis award that will be coming up next year. So he has worked on many different topics with such great depth and outstanding results. His work was on ultrasonic tweeter, acoustic tweezers, acoustic propulsion, ultrasonic neurostimulation, ultrasonic cancer streaming. I mean, it's so many different topics with the basic MEMS technology, and has done great work. And he has been publishing journal papers with such depth and clarity and outstanding results. So I'm so proud of him. With that, I will end.
Thank you, Skip. So Sharon, want to say a few words here? Youngkui, is he here?
Yes.
Yes, there you are. There you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for Dr. Kim's very kind words. I'm very humbled. I would like to thank everyone, especially Dr. Kim, for his tremendous support and help throughout these 7 years. I've experienced a lot of ups and downs. I stayed in a group when there was 8 people, or at some time there was only 3 students. And I've experienced 2 years without publication. I've also experienced 2 years with 5 publications. But through all this, Dr. Kim offered me a lot of help, both in research and also in life. And I think he is really a role model for us researchers with great passion for research. So, and he influenced me to continue my path in academia. And I would also like to thank students such as Aoyang Zhang and Xiaodong Yan, who are also present here today. And all these students, they offered me a lot of help when I was in need. So I am really honored and happy to be here and to spend these 7 years in USC. And that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations. Best wishes. So next, I'm going to, just to, as a event reminder, so we are in the celebration hosted by the Ming-Hsieh Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering of our PhD graduates. As I mentioned, right, our graduates come from different departments because our faculty are very diverse in their abilities. And so we are asking the professors to introduce and say a few words about the students and vice versa. So that's what we are doing. So next I'm going to ask Professor Jay Kuo to come on. Professor Jay Kuo is, legendary because, I think he's, the professor in the world that has a record with most PhD students. Amazing scholar, distinguished professor. So Jay, come on.
Okay, thanks, Sherry. So I have 4 students graduating this year, and every one of them really a treasure to me. I feel always it's a privilege to work with talented students. And so first, I want to talk about Bin Wang. Bin actually is a role model for many students in the lab. He like a big brother, and then many people look up to him, and he helped supervise a couple junior students. He is very independent, self-motivated, self-disciplined, and he has a dream to go to academia. So I really very happy for that. It's not easy to find people who want to be a professor. Maybe my life is too tough. But Bin will join the National University of Singapore as a postdoc for a couple of years. And I think he will get a very good position, the real teaching position after that. And his field, he's working on natural language processing. That's also relatively new to our lab, but he has published quite a few papers with very high citation already. And sometimes I can find a correlation with high citation paper with some students, usually a pairing. So it shows the taste of the student, how to pick the topic, how to prepare the material, how to write the paper well, cook the material well. And Bin's paper actually, just well cited. So I'm confident he can be a contributor to the academia. Okay, and next, or should we go to next or let Bin? Next, okay. So Kaidai Zhang, Kaidai came to me from the more electrophysics background, but he decided to go to the machine learning and computer vision. And actually asked him to hold for 1 year. They say, well, you need to have all the background before joining my group. So he took a lot of courses in machine learning and so on to show he really want to change. Then I took him, he's an excellent engineer. I have to say, Kaidai has a deep insight into a lot of problems. So in the first 2 years, he was in my lab. We work on some industrial project, and the company is very happy with his breakthrough. And later on, he had an intern with Facebook, and he did very well there. So he got a return offer. And so once he finished his defense in about 1 week, then he will join Facebook. Okay, next. Jolly Duan, I met Jolly when we were in Beijing. I met him in the Tsinghua Science Park, and he showed the demo. He did in the Chinese Academy of Science, the master program, and I was so impressed. I feel he just can implement so many things so well. So he is an excellent programming expert. But not only that, he thinks logically. He again, very independent, and I will say, really very talented in many things. He like cook, he like traveling, and actually, I feel he can be academia, he can be in industry. But I think the best for him probably is the entrepreneurship. So I have high expectation for him to eventually have his own startup. Jolly will join the Amazon Research Lab, in June, and I think that's a good time for him to know more friends and to know the trend, the opportunities. But I think if he can be an entrepreneur, I feel that probably fits him the best. And next, Rayan Lin, yeah. So Rayan. When I met him in Shenzhen. He was an undergraduate student, was very young, and I tried to convince him to join USA as a PhD student. She has an excellent GPA and so on, so very, very good student. And I think through the last couple of years, I think she has become very mature. And her work is more theoretical. I think she likes more math type of work. Actually, not match me well. So we work very close together. So I give her a phone call from time to time at all strange hours. But anyway, so she tolerates that. So I'm sort of wondering whether she should go to academia or the industry. But I think she would like to try industry first and to see how she feels, because she has been in university for all her, study time. So she would like to try industry for a while. And I also wish her the very best. So I would like to invite them to say just a couple words, maybe start from Bin.
Thank you, Jay. Please, Ben, Kaidai, Jill, please come on.
Yeah. Thanks, Professor Kuo, for all the kind words. And I still remember the first time I come to USC, I was quite excited because I think the semester starts at August. I come 1 month earlier to try to get started to research earlier. And now I still pretty excited about research and want to continue doing more. I think that's what I get from Professor Kuo and all the group members to be excited about research and continue to contribute. And also, I want to share I also have a lot of other experience with our department. For example, for this semester, I was taking the course from Professor Srin for the audio processing course. I was in the course as well, and also being the TA for Professor Lihi. That's the first time I was in TA. I got guided a lot to how to start being a TA, how to start leading the discussions. So thanks all for all the ECE members, and also especially thanks Professor Kuo for the help during the past periods.
Thank you.
Hi. So thanks Professor Kuo. Thanks for all your kind words, just like all your kindness and support for me in the past few years. So I hope to say that I really appreciate all your help in the past few years, not only for my thesis research, but even something outside of my research. So Professor Kuo not only gave me some instruction or suggestion on my research when I feel not clear about something, but also gave me so many good things, even some suggestion for my future careers. So I'm afraid I just have not enough time to say everything here. So really appreciate that. And also for our department, thanks Dan. So I still remember that you helped me helped him a lot in all those paperwork and TA stuff. And also thanks you all. I will miss you all in the future.
Good luck. Best wishes.
I will say a couple of words before moving on. My name is Jia Duan. I'm advised by Professor Kuo. And I want to thank the department for hosting this event. And I especially want to thank Professor Kuo for his guidance. And he has always been a role model for me in research. And I also want to thank all the professors present today and Diane for helping with a lot of things in daily lives. I think, and also want to wish all the graduate students present here a bright future. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Rian is here.
Yeah.
Great.
I would like to thank Professor Kuo for his guidance, and especially there are sometimes that I was pretty discouraged by the research progress and stuff, and he's always very encouraging to me. And I would also like to thank the lab member, although many of them are not in this Zoom meeting. Yeah, and I always respect Professor Kuo as a role model for me because he's very self-disciplined, very passionate about research. I can see how passionate he is through the phone calls that we have throughout the years. And I wish all the lab member, Professor Kuo, all the best. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Jay. Thanks, and congrats and best wishes to all of you. So next I have Professor Anupam Madhukar.
Hi.
Chatraj, student. There you go.
Yes. Shri, do you have any? Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, this is such a lovely occasion for any advisor. The day comes when the student has sort of gone through the rite of passage. So it is good to see what's going on and very good opportunity. I must tell you, I've been around for a while. In fact, on the 18th of May, it'll be the 50th anniversary of my thesis defense from Caltech in 1971. Now, in those years, I've had the privilege of a lot of extremely good students and postdocs and so on. But what I remember the best is when I first arrived at Caltech, I heard from the faculty the sort of idiom that we produce only two things, ideas and students. That has always stuck with me, that is indeed exactly what all good academic research institutions do. And in that sense, USC is no exception. And with Swarnab, we continued the tradition in the group to always find a new idea to work on. And Swarnab has all of those talents, combining great ability in theoretical analysis, computational analysis in the lab, computer interfacing to machines, etc., all of those, so that we could start a totally new area of research and bring the field of what some of you know as metamaterials and metasurfaces to what we have termed metastructures, which means using Mir resonances for horizontal architecture of on-chip quantum photonics. And with the team that you see in this picture, Jie-Fei Zhang, who was my PhD student in physics and now has stayed on as a research assistant professor, they have done some great work together, broken new grounds. Now, Swarnab is a very, very dedicated person, but perhaps the most important thing that matters to me is character, far more than anything else. And in that, the sense of integrity that I have seen in Swarnab is truly unsurpassed, to the point that even on a paper, he insisted that no, he needed to be somewhat down the road in the list of authors because he thought that his two friends had contributed more to that paper. So Swarnab, oh, one other thing which you would never guess, surprisingly, he's a guy who's very adventurous as well, I learned. He goes parachuting. I would have never thought that Swarnab would be jumping out of planes with a parachute, but apparently that's what he enjoys. So it has been just a joy, this journey together. And I wish him, of course, all the best. At the moment, through the summer, we're going to decide exactly where he goes. For the moment, there is a lot of excitement at USC in what we are doing, so we'll see how it all goes. But Swarnab, you are amongst the best of the best from the group, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks so much, Anupam. Congrats, Swarnab. You want to say a few words?
Yes, I'll just say thank you, Professor Madhukar, for these kind words. And as you said, it has been a wonderful journey. And I cannot thank you enough for all the teachings, both scientific and personal, that I have got, and hopefully would continue to learn from them. And I thank the department to host this wonderful event in the middle of this crisis that has been going on. It has been wonderful. And also, finally, my team members, Jie-Fei, and also Chi and Lucas, and finally, Siwan Lu, who is not at USC, but has been always a source of ideas and also how to proceed. So that's all I'll say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congrats. So I see Professor Murali Navarum as here. So I will ask Murali to come on and talk about his graduate.
Okay, sorry, I'm a few minutes behind. I just got to my office. So my student, Krishnagiri Nara, he just defended his thesis a few months ago, and he is now at Google. And every few years, let's say about a decade or so, a lot of us as faculty end up taking some turns in our research and exploring something new. It's not because we don't enjoy what we have done until that point in time, but we want to learn something different, something that we don't know enough about. And in that particular instance, we tend to be the learners more than advisors, and we tend to get a lot of guidance from the students in some sense, because they are the ones who are going to blaze the path, and we just sort of sit behind and sort of figure out if they, at a rough direction, that they are doing well or not. And I think that's exactly where Krishna's thesis comes into play. So just so you all know, I have never done any work in machine learning before Krishna came into my group. Krishna was the first PhD student who has actually successfully brought my group to work in some aspects of distributed computing, particularly focused on machine learning. And he, has that disadvantage that he doesn't get to benefit from my prior expertise, because there is no prior expertise in this case. It's basically he is the expert and I'm following him. And so that's what happened. And I think I've been lucky to learn a lot in that interaction over the few years that he was working with me. And I think he has done an extremely large amounts of work in a space. And in the process, he also pulled some of my other recent students to also work in that space. And so we now have a fairly active group of students working where he left off. And so that, I think, is a testament to the kinds of work that he has done. So I think he has done great amounts of work, and I expect him to do equally well at Google. And I think even as we speak, he's still replying to a lot of our students' emails and questions about the work he has done while he was at USC. So I want to congratulate him and hope that he would do extremely well at whatever he chooses to do next.
Thanks, Murali. I think Krishna couldn't join us today at this time, but we send him all our best wishes and congrats. So going back to the lineup, I'd like to invite Professor Daniel Ladar. 1 second, we'll sync up back to the, there you go, to congratulate Rahul Jain.
Great, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm extremely pleased and proud to have been Huo Chen's PhD advisor for the past several years. Huo has truly been a genuine pleasure to work with. He's a wonderful example of someone who grew into a mature researcher over the course of his PhD. He managed to become a world expert in the area of quantum system dynamics. And that's a topic that is both very technically challenging and hot because it underlies all the research people are doing nowadays in quantum computing. And as you may have heard, quantum computers are going to revolutionize the world of computing and hence the world itself. Now, Huo is poised to play a major role in this endeavor. He single-handedly wrote a sprawling and incredibly comprehensive open source software package called HAWX for Hamiltonian Open Quantum Systems Toolkit, which is quickly gathering recognition by the worldwide community of quantum researchers. You can check it out for yourself. It's on GitHub. And thanks to this remarkable accomplishment, as well as many others, including various excellent papers that he published, he was offered a staff scientist position at Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, where he will very soon start an exciting new role and phase in what is sure to be a stellar research career. So on top of being an accomplished researcher, Huo is also simply a great guy. He's the type of person who's willing to jump in to help, as he's done on numerous occasions, whether to teach a guest lecture or when a fellow grad student needed a nudge in the right direction. In short, Huo, I'm proud of you and I will miss you when you're gone. And I wish you the very best of luck, even though I know you won't need any. You've got what it takes.
Thanks so much, Daniel. Huo?
Hey, thank you, Daniel, for the nice word. I'm very happy today. So first, I'd like to, I believe all my families are watching this from China. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank them for their unwavering support during all those years. So without them, I wouldn't be able to make it through this very long journey of my PhD. Also, I'd like to thank my wife, Mu Yao, who is also here. And today happens to be our anniversary. So thank you very much. Your love, without your love throughout my rise and falls, everything is impossible. And also, I'd like to thank all my friends who are also watching this, and thank you all for reminding me constantly to graduate quickly. And of course, I'd like to thank Daniel for all the great mentorship and support during all the years. I've really learned a lot working in Daniel's group. And particularly, I think I really learned how to do proper science. And Daniel is, of course, the top scientist. And I still have a lot to learn from him. But sadly, I mean, I cannot stay much longer at a PhD. But of course, I will come back sometime to bug him and keep collaborating. So finally, I'm honored to work here at USC as a PhD student, and I would like to thank everyone who offered their help and support during my journey. And thank you very much.
Congratulations, double congrats, should we say?
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, Daniel, as well. So next, I would like to invite Professor Martha Mohadam to say a few words about her two graduates.
Great. Thank you, Shri. Yes, I am the proud mentor of two fantastic graduates, Amir Azamati and Negar Golestani. They both defended recently. Well, Amir defended last week, and Negar defended earlier in the year. She's already out of LA. Negar is already at Stanford doing a postdoc there, and Amir is going to start a new job on Monday at the Aptiv company in Malibu, or actually not in Malibu, but farther north, Ventura County. So, you know, I'm just, as I said, I'm just really proud to have been the advisor and mentor of these two wonderful, brilliant people. Amir joined my group in 2014, and he has done so much work, lots and lots of very fundamental theoretical electromagnetics work, which really benefited several NASA missions that we have been part of. So he's participated in several group projects. He's done field work. He's done all kinds of really interesting and good work. And he's just been a good citizen, helping whenever, you know, we've asked him to help out, and you know, which has resulted in really a fantastic body of work. So I'm very proud and very happy that I've had the chance to mentor Amir, and I wish him all the best. Negar also, I believe Negar joined in, let's see, that's Negar with her mask on. Yes, 14. The 2015, right, and Negar, another really wonderful, fantastic group member that I've had, and you know, she did such fundamental new work that, you know, I really haven't seen with such motivation and self-motivation. She essentially created a new research area in the group. She was very driven to do that. Now, we had a lot of interesting discussions towards the beginning of her PhD program, and we're trying to figure out what's the best project. And then, you know, she had this fantastic idea, and We didn't have any funded projects there, but I thought, gosh, this is so good that we just have to do it. And so she picked it up and spent the remaining time in her PhD work and developed that and on wearables, a totally new technology for networks of sensors on the body. And so, anyways, the rest is history. Again, great technical work. Wonderful person, both Nagar and Amir, good citizens, and just a pleasure to have had them. I wish both of you, Amir and Nagar, the best. You've been awesome. I miss you, and I hope you'll stay in touch. And we'll just have to celebrate in person soon as it's safe.
Thanks, Matt.
Good luck to both of you.
Thanks, Matt. So, Nagar, Amir, if you want to say a few words.
And you don't have to.
No, they have to.
So I'll go first. I was waiting to see. So first of all, thank you everyone for organizing this event, and also want to thank Diane specifically for all your help and patience during these years. And thank you, Professor Moghadam, for all your kind words. It means a lot. And for all your support and kindness and patience. And also giving the freedom and courage to explore during these years. And I really enjoyed working with you and learned a lot. And honestly, it's been a privilege to be your student. And thank you.
Thank you, Nagar.
Thank you, Nagar.
Yeah, I want to thank Professor Moghadam for all of her kind words and for her leadership and continuous support of my PhD program. And it's been a great experience for me to work under her supervision. And I would like to also thank her for involving me in many great NASA-sponsored projects. And yeah, it's been a great experience. And I would like to thank her and also thank all of my friends in Mixel Lab and all my friends at USC. So I would like to thank everyone. So hopefully we can get together soon and meet everyone in person. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amir.
Thanks, Amir.
Thanks, Mata. So next on the list, I see my name. So I gotta go, I think. So my name is Sri, as I said, Srinarayan. My lab is called SAIL, which stands for Signal Analysis and Interpretation Laboratory. So what I'm going to do is like slightly different because this year has been a bumper crop year for our lab. There's 14 graduates in this academic year. So maybe pandemic productivity, perhaps. So we have a wall of all our graduates and it's going to get filled up. There's a big wall actually. And so what I'm going to do is like, I was just thinking about like, I usually say a few words about each of them before their defense. I was just recalling. So I was going to try to think about like, there's what ties them all together. It's like, many things actually. First of all, I'm overwhelmed by just not the endurance and grit and the positive spirit that each of my students have, demonstrated over these several years. But each of them have actually shined in their own way. I'll say a few words about each of them, but in their creativity in creating work that is actually with purpose and impact. Including sort of, in industry, most of them have, done 1, 2, maybe 3 internships. The collegiality, compassion, and most of all, generosity of their intellect, helping their, colleagues, their peers as mentors. And so I think, just well-rounded leaders as they're leaving USC, but they're leaving my lab, SAIL, and the university in a much better place actually than when they started. So very, very proud of them. As Murali said, right, like, every one of them has been a teacher to me. Actually, I enjoy and in fact, honored to be learning alongside with each of you. So looking forward to celebrating not just this moment, but years to come, both your personal and professional accomplishments. Many people made this happen, right? Our entire faculty here in our department, across the department. My lab, is made of students, not only from ECE, but from computer science, from linguistics and psychology. So some of them are here. And so what we miss is like, we also are known for partying very strongly and, you know, celebrating in fun ways. So look forward to that very soon. So first I will sort of, talk about Sandeep's thing, Kathy, if you don't mind going back. Sandeep worked on, many areas in speech and language processing, focused on important problems related to sort of, mental health, especially, suicidality in veterans and so on with his creativity. And one of the important people that I want to mention here is my colleague, Professor Panos Georgiou, who's at Apple. I don't know if he's able to join today. He co-mentored Sandeep, and Sandeep has done very amazing work. And I'll ask Sandeep to say a few words. He's on.
Hey everyone, thank you, Professor Sri. My sincere and heartfelt thanks to all my advisors, both Professor Sri during my final years and Panos during my initial years, for their mentorship, generosity, and for always being ready to help me whenever I was stuck with a problem. Their support really meant a lot to me, and I was really fortunate to learn from them, not just about research, but general principles for work and life as well. So I'll always be grateful for that. My thanks also go to the ECE staff, Diane, Tanya, Kathy, all of you, and my colleagues for their help and company during this long journey. Some of them, as you can see from the photos, have become my closest friends. So I will always cherish my time at ECE and USC. And last, I cannot express my gratitude enough for my family, Amma, Nanagaru, and Pranu, who are on this call, for their unfailing love and support through all this time. I would not be here today if not for them. And this achievement is as much theirs as it is mine. So thank you.
Congrats, Sandeep. Congrats, everyone. So next is, I think, Hao-Chi Lee. Hao-Chi, like his work also was on sort of behavioral modeling and school advice by Panos Georgiou. And in the last couple of years, I had the pleasure of working with him in many projects. Hao-Chi also, and all the things I said, right, applies across all of them. Hao-Chi, are you there?
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Hey, Hao-Chi, good to see you.
Yeah, so many thanks to my advisor, Sri, and also thanks to my lab mates and other professors and the colleagues and who offer me a lot of help. And yeah, I would say like PhD for me is a long journey full of challenges, but also a pressure, but also a pressure experience for me. So I'm very, very lucky and very proud to be a part of the SAIL family and had a valuable experience that can be beneficial for my whole life. And yeah, also many thanks to my family who is watching like via Zoom in China. And also, yeah, currently I'm in New York and hopefully, yeah, we can meet in person soon. And yeah, I already miss university and also miss LA. Yeah, very thanks.
Congrats, Hao-Chi. Next up is Victor Martinez. Victor came to us from ITAM in Mexico City, which is where I first met him. He defended a few weeks ago his PhDs in computer science. He's worked on a number of different areas, but in language processing, in sentiment analysis, but most of all, his thesis was on computational media intelligence, where he did a lot of great work, and his work is also sort of impactful, where they're using computer science and ideas in shining light on diversity and inclusion through sort of analyzing language. Of course, Victor is here, I think, and I would like to invite Victor.
Yeah, thank you for the kind words, Sri. I really appreciate the opportunity that was given to me, and I cannot express the gratitude that I have for being able to be a part of SAIL. And as it was already mentioned, I met a lot of colleagues, and some of which I call really close friends throughout the PhD. I also want to thank the support of my family, who I think is watching. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much. And it was really a treat to be part of this whole experience.
Congrats, Victor. Now, as you say, Victor also did work which got a lot of press and so on. And he hobnobbed with people like, Gina Davis doing his work. congrats, Victor.
Thank
so
you.
Next up is, I think, Karel. Karel is the freshest minted PhD. He just defended earlier this week. Karel, as I was saying, like one of the most, his outlook on research, exemplifies his compassion, and the kinds of problems he chooses to work also kind of reflects that. Karel came from the University of Chile. In fact, he was a student of one of my former PhD students. And so it was like, he's my grand student in some way. His work has touched upon, again, multiple things. One of the big projects that he kind of, helped conceptualize and lead was our tiles project, which was a painful, joyful experience for all of us, but we learned so much about it. And, and I think the impact it has created is amazing. Karel?
Thank you, Shri, for the kind words. As Victor, I also wanted to thank you for the opportunity to be part of SAIL and to study at USC. It's not very common from people from Chile to study abroad and do PhDs, and I feel very fortunate to have had this opportunity. It was definitely a learning experience academically, but not only academically, also at a personal level, in many different dimensions of my professional life, and it's definitely a time that I cherish. So thank you.
Thank you, Karel. Continue the celebrations. Next up, I think on my list is Tanner Sorensen. He's got his PhD in linguistics with me and with Professor Louis Goldstein. And his work was also sort of groundbreaking, brought like very interdisciplinary, brought computational ideas, mathematical modeling to understand how people produce speech, and especially sort of looking at how flexible we are in kind of in how we adapt and are enable this amazing facility we all have. I'm not sure if Tanner is here, but if he is, welcome him to say a few words. I think this may be very late. I don't know if he's on the East Coast. So we'll march along. Next person is on the list is Paulos Pavlopoulos. His work was, again, Paulos is one of the most, the first thing comes to my mind is the kindest person, very empathic and helps everyone. Of course, was a fantastic researcher, did work on robust audio processing. He's working at Amazon right now in Pittsburgh. Not sure if he was able to join either. And he's contributed to many sort of not only great papers, but also like wonderful things that have been transitioned to the government and so on. So fantastic researcher and a super human being. Pavlos, is he there? No, I think that's what, over the pandemic year, all these next person I would like to congratulate is Prashant. I see him calling from India. Prashant, in fact, I've had the opportunity to work with Prashant for a long time. So he did his master's thesis with me on speech processing and some of it, which we still continue. And then his PhD early training was provided by Professor Panos Georgiou. And then I started mentoring Prashant. Prashant has been in India last year, and has been actually amazingly sort of when I talked about endurance and grit, right? Prashant exemplifies that. Very, very productive, very creative, and he's done a lot of various things. Again, he's heading to Amazon, and if Prashant is here, you want to say a few words?
Thank you, Professor Shri, for the kind words. I feel very privileged to have you as my mentor. I'm not sure whether Panos is here, so a big thanks to him as well. So both Professor Shri and Panos have been very supportive, both on the personal fronts as well as in research. They have given me a lot of freedom in exploring various research areas. Also, a big thanks to all the SAIL members and the SCUBA lab members. Big thanks to Diane as well. She has been very supportive all throughout. And Lastly, this wouldn't have been possible without the support of my parents. So thanks to them as well. Yeah, that's all.
Congrats, Prashant. Congrats to all of you and your family. Hope you're staying well. So next up on my list is Manoj Kumar. He was there early in this evening, but he had to step out. Manoj actually also an exemplary researcher. Very, very sort of compassionate in his work. He worked but in novel algorithmic aspects in speech and language processing, directed towards problems that are inspired in the domain of autism spectrum disorder. As a result, he worked closely with some of the top clinicians in the world, I should say, and the work is seeing direct impact. He's at Amazon, working in Amazon Alexa division, and again, very impactful work, very, very kind mentor. He's mentored not only fellow graduate students, but a bunch of undergrads as well. Congrats, Manoj, to celebrate. The next person is Tajan Park. Tajan, I met Tajan years ago, actually, when he wanted to come to USC in a conference in Malaysia, of all places. Tajan has, a lot of different things, fantastic researcher, works on, his core area is to understand speakers and, be able to use that information in a number of ways. He has, emerged to be a leader in this area and impacting, not only projects here within USC, our sponsored projects for the government, but also, in industry, I worked at Microsoft and, he's heading to NVIDIA. But he's also has a lot of fun things. His impressions of people are to sort of very, very prizeworthy. So in our parties, Tajan always is will entertain us. Tajan, are you there?
Thank you, Shiri. I wish I could do the impression in front of the cell members again while we're having offline party. I still remember the date that I think it was ICAST 2014. We'll walk up to Shiri's poster and talk to him and said, I really want to join your lab and discuss a few things. And then a few years later, I was able to join Panos' lab, and then I switched to Shiri's lab, and then I was able to work on a very interesting project. And then I want to thank Shiri for giving me such a big freedom. And then I was able to learn a lot about speech processing and spaghettization. And then I was also happy with working with people in SAIL, all the students, and including Shiri. And then I really enjoyed that experience. So I'd like to thank you so much for, I'd like to thank Shri and also Panos Sergio, who was my former supervisor. And also I'd like to thank all the faculty members and staffs. And also congrats to other PhD students, and then wish the best luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Tajan. Congrats and best wishes. So next up is Krishna Samandapalli. Krishna came to USC. He's got his master's at UCSP and was working at NYU, and then wanted to come and do his PhD. And it was such a great fortune that he decided to come here. It's been an amazing member of the lab, colleague, and a fellow researcher. He was so influential in helping us create this sort of research momentum in this media intelligence area. Krishna is also one of the kindest people that I've known, and what a great pleasure to have people like Krishna in our lab. And that kind of reflects of most, in fact, all my students. Krishna will be, so again, his work, just like Victor Martinez, has made great impact and being sort of used in the real world, in the media industry, and so on. He will be heading to Google in a few weeks, and his work, I think, will, is very influential, and it will continue to be, I hope. And I'm looking forward to seeing much more. Krishna.
Thank you, Shri. And the only thing I can say is, only thing I'm feeling right now is that I'm extremely grateful for the unrelenting support, your mentorship, and most of all, your kindness that you showed me in the past 6 years. I've grown much more in the past 6 years than I could hope for, and I will be amiss if I don't thank several professors who helped my quals committee, Professor Kuo, Professor Madi, Professor Nayak, and our chair, Professor Leahy, and our lab admin, Tanya, and most of all, Diane. I will truly miss talking to Diane in the beginning of every semester, bothering her, asking her to pull up my sheet and giving her my number. I'll really miss that. But of all, I really enjoyed the collegiality in the lab. I think, Shri, over the years, you've built such a beautiful community that most of us call home, because we've slept there a couple of times. So I was so glad to be a small part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Congrats, Krishna. So proud of you. Next up, be patient with me. I still had you all that we had a bumper crop this year. It's a surge of 14 students graduating. I'm going to miss them all. Next up is Karan. Karan Singhal is here. Again, Karan also came to our lab, via, again, most of them have a sort of connection, recommendation from a colleague from AT&T Bell Labs that worked with me. Karan's interest was in natural language processing, but he came here and kind of expanded his interest, and not only sort of, in core areas in NLP, but also its application to multiple different areas. So Karan, again, he's, has very sort of this innate mentoring spirit, helps people, participates in, coding things in, for the Google thing, and so on, right? So everyone not only, worried about their own sort of research and work, but also always built in as a part of that was their giving spirit. So Karan represented one of that. So Karan.
Thanks, Shri. Yeah, it was a great experience to be part of the lab and learn from so many of the lab mates, which are not here: Dohan, Victor, Anil, Nikos, Pavlos, Krishna, Johao, and there are some only few names. And I remember this lessons of research she has given me about depth and breadth of research, how to solve a problem. We can bring ideas from linguistics, signal processing, psychotherapy, computer science, or humanities. And yeah, you are a guiding force in terms of being a great professional and teaching me the mantra of playing harder, working harder. And yeah, thanks a lot. I feel gratitude. And my parents are here. I'll say hi to them. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for all those morning teas, not letting me sleep more than 7-8 hours. But over a long run, I really feel gratitude. Thank you.
Congrats, Karan, and congrats to your family too. I hope they're all staying safe. Next up is Arindam. Arindam, another of these, leader. Actually, Arindam always has a smile, and in whatever he takes on, he always has this can-do attitude. Again, his work has touched many areas. Particularly, I'll mention one that he led this project, a couple of projects, for the government on. We've been hearing a lot about these deep fake and so on, right? How people are using, interference to sort of fake things. In the audio, it's a new area, and Arindam was one of the people sort of taking a lead on that and doing that. He's working for IBM Research, and is Arindam here?
Yes.
Hey, Arindam, good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see everyone. Yeah, I want to thank Sri for his guidance during my PhD, and he was always helpful, not only in my academic things, but also like in different aspects of life. For example, during my job search, he used to constantly ping me like, "Are you okay? Are you taking care of your health?" So it really touched me, and I also like to thank the ECE department, particularly Tanya and Diane, and also all my lab members, the sailors. Thank you, everyone.
Good to see you. Congrats, Arindam. Hopefully we'll all celebrate together soon. I have only two more people. Next up is Brandon Booth. Brandon got his PhD in computer science. There you go with Carol. I mentioned that project where they rigged up the whole of Keck Hospital, Norris Cancer and so on. I don't know how they managed it, and to launch this big study, which has been so highly influential already. And Brandon's work also was it's on human-centered computing, looking at how we can both understand how people perceive and process information, and how we can translate that knowledge to useful algorithms that can help people. Brandon has been finished last year, and has been at the University of Colorado at Boulder. And I don't know if Brandon is here with us today, but he's again a person who's been a great mentor, a great team player, and always positive in what he does and how he does it. Is Brandon there?
Yes. Hello. Hi, Sri.
Hey, Brandon.
Thanks for the kind words. I'll just say quickly, since there's a huge line of sailors before me that have already said everything that I'm feeling, but it's been a great experience. I've really appreciated your support, not only sort of academically, but also in terms of time to pursue some unique interests that didn't necessarily fit very cleanly into some of the projects. So really, really appreciate that time. Very thankful. And also it's heartwarming to see so many of my SAIL peers graduate at the same time. So I hope to see you guys sort of around in industry or academia, wherever you guys all end up. Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon. And finally, we have Xiaoyan Seng. Xiaoyan here. So Xiaoyan's, next slide, please. There he is. Oh, nice. Xiaoyan also worked on human behavior side of things, and contributing to many projects. I mentioned suicide, understanding couples' relationships, and so on. Actually, his contributions to sort of emotion modeling human emotions is also very important. He's at Intel right now after graduating, defending earlier this year. And again, all the things I've said about all the students applies for Xiaoyan also. And that's why I had this summary early on. Xiaoyan, are you here? Or will you join?
Yes, I'm here. Hey, Sri.
Hey, Xiaoyan, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Yeah, so I just wanted to thank Sri very much for his support in our final years of PhD. Yeah, because as he might have mentioned that we were with panels before. I was with panels as an advisor before, and then before moving to Sri as part of the SAIL family. So I thank Sri very much for his support during my final years of PhD. And he only made it much easier than I expected during the final years with his support and great help in terms of academics, as well as like support through life. And as a great friend. And yeah, so it's been a great privilege to be part of the SAIL family, as well as the scuba team, as well as a PhD graduate from USC. So it's been a great experience for me throughout the years at USC. And I really wanted to thank Sri, Panos, and all the faculty in the ECE department, as well as the staff, so much for the great experience here at USC. And I wanted to thank my family and especially my wife as well for supporting me throughout the years as well. And as well as the staff at ECE, our lab admin, Tanya, Diane, Gloria, and Kathy. And thank you for organizing all these great events that just kept the feeling of social, the great feeling of USC, being at USC, right? Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. That's all I know. My thing is done. I'm so thankful to all of you actually to sharing your PhD journey and having a chance for me to share the journey with you. Always be a part of this big SAIL family and hope to party on, the next available opportunity. So now let me switch to the next professor on the lineup, Professor Krishna Naik.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Krishna.
Hey, how's it going? Okay, so thanks. So I'm happy to talk a little bit about Yannick. Is Yannick on the line, or is Yannick's family on the line?
Yeah, I'm here. Hey.
Okay, hey. Great to see you. So I'd like to just express my appreciation for Yannick over the past 5.5 years. Yannick joined USC in 2015 as an Annenberg Fellow. He was a very highly sought after recruit for our department. He did his training at Technical University in Hamburg beforehand, and he had also done some research work on magnetic particle imaging at Berkeley, and that's how the connection was made. And I'm very grateful for Steve Connolly for introducing us. I really appreciate that. While he has been at USC, he's been incredibly prolific in terms of publications and research output. Yannick has been a key member of our team that's been developing these novel MRI biomarkers for brain tumors. And to be honest with you, this has been a project that's been very long, and we're just at the point of doing clinical trial. If something comes out of it, it'll be to a substantial part due to Yannick's very thoughtful work. And in fact, there's some projects that are starting now that are basically kind of riding his coattails. So thank you so much, Yannick. In terms of personal qualities, Yannick has so many that have been just amazing. He's probably the most well-read PhD student I've ever mentored. In terms of like the breadth of stuff that just he finds fascinating and just like soaks it all in. It's just really embodies like a lot of what I think it means to be a member of our Ming-Hsieh department. And also in our lab, he's just very, critical, but also very constructive of all the science that's going on, which is, I think, really important. And I think the team that he's just decided to join in industry is going to be very lucky to have him, because that exactly is, I think, what makes teams stronger: constructive collaboration and constructive criticism. So Yannick, I really appreciate you, and it's been a pleasure these past 5.5 years. All the best.
Thanks, Krishna. Yannick, a few words.
Yeah, thank you so much, Krishna, for your kind words. And thank you also for 6 years ago for taking me on and into your lab, and for all the mentorship you provided me with over the years. And I think it really made me the person that I am. And also for the freedom you give your PhD students, but then also when you, as a PhD student, kind of run yourself in a cul-de-sac, you pull them back out and kind of get them back on track. So I think this really makes a great mentor. And also the high-level discussions we had about like how research communities work and how research, like how to get things done in research. And then I also would like to thank my team members at Emerald for being such an amazing environment and being such a strong support group, and also being like friends to kind of lift you up when things aren't quite going your way. And I also would like to thank the staff members at ECE department, so Gloria and Diane and also Kathy, for running the show behind the scenes and making events like this happen. And also, so in the first half of my PhD, I kind of made it a sport of taking as many classes as possible, because I think the teaching at ECE department is the level of teaching is extremely high. So it's really enjoyable to take all these classes, and I think I really appreciate. I'm grateful for all the passion and work that these faculty members put into their teaching. And then lastly, I'm also grateful for all the people I met at USC and the many friends I made, and I hope to see you guys all again in the future. So thank you all.
Congrats, Yannick. Good luck. So I think we have a student that wasn't able to join in time when Professor Murali Annavaram was presenting, Krishna Nara. I think he may be here, and we want to give him an opportunity to say a few words. Krishna, are you there? There's many Krishnas here.
Hi, Shri. Yes, I am here. Yeah.
Perfect.
So hi. So I feel like thankful. I'm very thankful mainly to my advisor, Professor Annavaram. He has been a great advisor and much more importantly, a wonderful person. He has been incredibly supportive, has given us a lot of freedom, given me specifically a lot of freedom, and has been very forgiving of mistakes over time. And whenever I got stuck or led myself to dead ends, he always used to help me. But he always used to get me to focus and make it so that the problem is tackleable and make it practical. So I'm really grateful that he advised me throughout. And I'm also grateful to Professor Salman Avastimir. He guided me through we collaborated on a significant part of the dissertation. I'm also grateful to my lab mates, past and present, and especially Zifeng, Kiran, Shumen, and I cannot thank enough the staff in our department and Mingshai Institute, especially Diane, without whom I can't imagine. So many times I used to go to Diane with some anxiety, and she was such a calming influence and always accessible and supportive. And I'm in general thankful to the USC community. And last but not least, I'm thankful to my close friends and family, without whose support, nothing is possible. Thank you all.
Thank you, Krishna. Congrats. So I just want to do a quick time check. I know we are running a little bit late. Just like a PhD journey, right? Usually takes slightly longer than what we think it is. So, but it's great. 15 more minutes to celebrate all this amazing accomplishment. It's worth it. So please stay along. We have a few more students to celebrate. Our next up is Professor Ashutosh Nair.
I would like to congratulate Shiva Nawabi for her graduation and her recent job offer. Oh, I'll wait for the slides to catch up.
It'll just back up for showing Krishna. Perfect, right there.
Yes, so Shiva and I started working together about 6 years ago, when I was myself a fairly new professor, still finding my way around. Shiva worked on some very interesting problems in game theory about designing incentives that nudge agents and users to do desirable things. And I'm very pleased that she'll get to use some of these ideas and skills in her next job. Shiva, I know this has been a very long journey with its own ups and downs, but you've seen it through, and now you can look back at your accomplishment and feel good about it. I hope this time has taught you that you can do big things with some persistence and resilience and some nudging from your advisor. So I hope you take this lesson in your future endeavors, and I wish you a successful and enjoyable career ahead. So congratulations and all the best.
Thank you, Ashutosh. Shiva, are you here?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much, Professor, for really kind words you made. I want to use this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to Professor Nair for his amazing mentorship and his tremendous support throughout my PhD journey, as well as even afterwards during my job search too. I always admired his clarity of thought and his solid approach to both research and teaching. And I feel deeply grateful that I had this amazing opportunity to do my PhD under his supervision and learn so much from him. So thank you, Professor, for all this amazing journey. And I also want to deeply thank Diane for her immense support and compassion and help and guidance during different phases of my PhD journey, and also for her vibrancy and energy whenever I sought out her help. Also, I want to lastly thank my friends and family for their love and support during this long journey. I know my sisters are joining from Germany and East Coast. I say hi to Mahsa, Dorsa, and Mahshik. So yeah, thank you all. it's been a great experience.
Congrats, Shiva. Yeah.
Thank you.
Best wishes. Yeah. Next up is Professor Mariam Shanechi. Mariam, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Mariam.
Here. Okay, so yeah, so congratulations to my student, Omid Sani. So Omid joined my lab back in 2015 as the first new batch of students in my lab when I was also myself new. And the first thing I did was I put him on a DARPA project that I had as my first grant. And we wanted to build a closed loop simulation system to build novel treatments for depression for people who don't respond to any therapies. And he started working on this problem right off the bat, coming up with solutions. And within just 2-3 years, he could show that he could decode people's mood from their brain activity. And that was just the beginning. He didn't stop there. He came up with entirely new machine learning and signal processing paradigms for decoding of various brain states from neural activity. And his achievements, of course, were reflected in multiple high-profile publications. And that's a testament to the great quality of his work. But beyond that, he's been a great mentor also to the junior students in the lab. He's always thinking of ways to make our lab a better place. So I really appreciate all of what he's done for our lab to make it a better place. And also, of course, he won the best dissertation thesis award at USC Viterbi. So congrats for that, Omid. Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you in the lab for the past 5.5 years or so.
Thank you very much, Mariam. The pleasure is all mine, essentially, because yeah, it was so when I was looking for a PhD advisor, university to do my PhD and PhD advisor, Mariam was my first choice because of her vision. However much I could figure out from the websites and stuff, that all made sense to me, and I was very fortunate that Mariam took me on as her PhD student. I learned a lot from her over the years. Also, some great projects that it's through Mariam that I was able to be involved with. It's all a lot of collaboration, so I was lucky to be a member of some very nice collaborative projects. So yeah, thank you, Mariam, for all your support throughout all these years in every step of the way. And also thanks to everyone at the department, the staff, faculty, Diane, the MHI Institute. Yeah, so I've had a great PhD journey. Thank you very much.
Congrats, Amit. And congrats, Mariam. You know, lots of reasons to celebrate, you know. And so congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next up is Professor Victor Prasanna and Pedro. For the student Majid. Is Pedro there? Or
yeah, I'm here.
Oh, great.
Pedro. Thanks, Sri. Yeah, I mean, you know, I really want to congratulate Majid. You know, awesome journey. Like many of us, he came from a small city, you know, in a foreign country, you know, did his undergrad there, came here, and now, you know, PhD graduating from USC, going on to Google. And you know, it was a sort of interesting journey. Majid came to me one day in my lab and said, you know, I'm kind of interested in, you know, knowledge graphs and AI. You know, long story short, we started looking at tables, and, you know, he had this kind of crazy idea that maybe you could learn embeddings for tables the same way that you were learning embeddings for words and sentences. And, you know, I mean, I wasn't much of an advisor in that sense because I wasn't an expert in deep learning, so we learned together. You know, he did a really nice thesis, you know, published really nice papers. You know, the work that he did now continues in the table understanding group. So other students are picking it up and are extending it. And now he's at Google. So yeah, thanks, Majid. I learned a lot with you. And you sort of started a new area for the group, and it was great.
Thank you so much, Pedro, for the kind words. It was a great opportunity, and thank you for taking me on to the CKG group. And I learned a lot from you during this journey with a lot of up and downs. And the things I learned from you are used in my research and also in my personal life and now in my job. And yeah, I'm very grateful for the opportunity that you gave me. And I'm also thankful to my to Professor Prasanna at ECE department for making my graduation happen and being a great advisor. And also I want to give special thanks to Diane for always supporting me during this long journey at USC and helping me during my hard times and making my graduation happen. Thank you so much, everyone, that helped me during this journey.
Congrats, Majid. Congrats, Pedro. Best wishes at Google. So we have one more student that we want to bring up live, whereas we don't have a slide for him, I think, because we didn't know whether he's going to be joining us. Advised by Krishna Naik and myself, Jongwon Lim. He graduated earlier this year, but we are so delighted he's continuing as a researcher at USC with our newly minted scanner. So Youngwon, if you turn on your camera, and Krishna, if you come on also, that'll be great to say a few words about Youngwon. Youngwon is like, again, represents this sort of, jointly a member of my lab and Krishna's MRL. Abilities to understand problems about human speech production. So he had to learn a lot of things, but his spirit of sort of inquiry and his, with a smile, he pursued, making advances in imaging and in speech science, but also sort of, with a very, very collaborative, collegial attitude, like the scanning, or before we were able to get our own scanner, they had to spend endless nights, literally, in LA County Hospital, scanning people. And so, through all of it, Youngwon never sort of lost the spirit of, collegiality and, and inquiry, and with a big smile, he used to sort of, march along and, help everyone. So Krishna, you want to add on?
Yes, I'd love to maybe help embarrass Youngwon a little more too. So again, really appreciate working with Youngwon over the past almost 6 years now. He joined us from KAIST, where he did his master's degree. He had some MRI experience from that. And so he was also, like Yannick, from the same class of top recruits. So we were very lucky that year. And so Youngwon, as Sri mentioned, has worked on this collaborative project with imaging and applications. And he's worked with professors in linguistics and professors in the medical school. Has extremely been a very sought after collaborator. Yeah, I agree with Sri. He's happy, but also very subtle demeanor sometimes, and he's been very extremely productive in research and in how do I say this? Inspiring other people in the lab to investigate, to kind of to steer their work in an appropriate direction. He's very kind and thoughtful to all of the other PhD students and associates in our group. And yeah, he's just really been a great pleasure to work with, and we're excited that we can continue to work as he develops his academic career. And he's just another, again, just like Yannick, a fountain of ideas and incredibly skilled electrical and computer engineer. Very grateful, Youngwon, to have gotten the chance to work with you, and now to get to continue to work with you.
Yeah, thank you, Sri and Krishna, for those kinds of words. I really wanted to thank you
Krishna, Shri, my co-advisors. And also I want to thank you everyone here, like faculty members and staff, like Diane, Tanya, and Gloria, and Katie for making this event happen. So yeah, privileged to have two of you as my advisors, and yeah, have opportunity to work with you. I think I grow a lot in personally and intellectually. And I learn a lot from you. Yeah, two of you always supported me through my years with patience and encouragement and professional guidance. So yeah, and I'm also very glad that I can continue to work with you here at USC. And also I wanted to celebrate everyone here for making their tough PhD journey in the middle of this hard time. I kind of suffered a lot, and but I wish all the best luck for your next journey, and again at some point. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Congrats, young one, and and thank you for all that you and everyone else has been doing. So the live part is sort of done. We have a couple of our colleagues couldn't join, but they. Huh?
I do believe Professor Chen has joined us.
Mike Chen is here. Oh, great. Mike, you're on.
Hey,
Professor Mike Chen.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I do want to say a few words about Aoyang Zhang. Aoyang, he really has done a tremendous job, in my lab. He first, his undergraduate was in Zhejiang University. So as we know, that's a very, top university in China. And, I still remember that the first time he joined my group, and, my group, work, certain type of circuits, right? And then when Aoyang joined my group, he said, hey, Mike, maybe I want to try something different. So even though he's not really considered as a first generation student, but I can assure you all his journey in my lab is pretty much just as if he's a first generation student, just because, he's working on something that's really different from what we have been working on. So for respect, his achievement, over his PhD, he has done very fundamental contribution, in this, we call it power amplifiers. So power amplifier is something that we use, in our cell phone, basically, and as you can imagine, there's a huge industry, behind this business. And, I'm happy to let you know that, over his PhD, he actually make quite a few world record, performance, for designing those power amplifiers because of his, fundamental technical contribution. So I thought that was really not easy. And I truly respect, the way that he can pull out, right? And then I just want to mention that, he's not just good at the technical part. He's, such a, facilitator in the lab. I still remember, there were a couple of times, during the Christmas, holiday period. And then we had to have a meeting because there's a design review. We need to tape out the chips, and he would actually bring in a Starbucks drinks for everybody, and everybody get different flavor. So that was just such a warming actions for the lab, and then I think I continue to believe that is the case. So I believe that he has really bright future. So I'll basically, wish him the best luck, for his future endeavor.
Thanks.
I know he's still very into this research. So
yeah, thanks, Mike. Right. See here, do you want to say a few words?
Yep. Thanks, Sherry, and thanks, Dr. Chen, for the kind word. I do appreciate to join your group, and it's such a fantastic journey for me, especially in the beginning. It's not easy for an international student, but I think, I really appreciate all the guidance, all the help, and also all the suggestions, advice you gave to me. And I still remember the first time when we met and we talked in the office, that you told me that majority of people actually, they see something and then they start to believe, but only, a few people that they can trust themselves first, and then they start to see something. And also that's, how it starts. So I really appreciate your help during the past few years, and all my lab mates that as you can see in the photo, they actually helped me a lot. We learn together, we, drink coffee together. We have spent such wonderful time together. And in addition, I also want to thank all the lab mates, even though I know Kim Raid is not here, Jenny is not here, they helped me a lot. And I also like to thank Kathy, and also the most important is Diane. And I'm always a last minute guy, and Diane actually helped me a lot in many different cases. And so I really appreciate all your help. And thanks very much.
Congrats, Young, and it's also an MHI scholar. And so we have two more students to celebrate. So Masood, Professor Masood Pedram's student, like we have a video because Professor Masood couldn't be here. Just let's play that. There you go. Kathy, want to play?
Hello. I'm here today to congratulate all of our graduating PhD students, and specifically my own PhD student, Sohail Nazar Shahsarani. He has been in my group for 5 years now, done quite well, published many papers, DAC, date, journal papers, 2 already and 2 in the pipeline, which is going to be quite remarkable. He's a very thoughtful, meticulous, creative person. I wish him the best in whatever he does going forward, and we'll miss him certainly here at USC. Congratulations again, Sohail.
Thank you. Is Sohail here? Live?
Hello.
There he is. Yeah. You want to say a few words?
Yep. Good night to everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Pedram for his kind words and his support throughout the past 6 years. It has been quite a tough journey for me, but I'm really thankful for all of his support and guidance. Also, I'd like to thank all the faculty and staff at the ECE department, especially Diane and Annie, who have been super nice and helpful to us, especially to me. And also Kathy and Ben at the MHI Institute. They have been super friendly and nice. And the EEB has been sort of like a second home for me. Maybe I spend more time in my office or at EEB than my actual home. And it has been a tremendous journey for me, and I'm really thankful to everybody, faculty and staff at the ECE department.
Thank you, and congrats, and best wishes. And so, the final student we want to celebrate is Zhao Dong, Professor Han Wang's student. And again, we have a video to play.
Good evening, Xiaodong and your family, students and friends, and other respected guests. I am honored and pleased to celebrate Xiaodong's graduation from our PhD program, to bid a farewell and to celebrate a new beginning in your career. I still remember our first meeting in my office. I was relatively new at USC myself at that time, and you mentioned to me that you are very excited about the research topics in our group, and you would like to carry out your PhD study with us. Even though the group only has one other student at that time, I said yes, and you become the second student in our group. You promised to do good research work, and I promised to be a good advisor. That is how everything gets started. 5 years later, and here we are today. I can say that you have certainly kept your promise, and I hope I can say that I have also kept mine. I would like to thank you for the many excellent work you have done. You have grown from a newcomer in research to become a leading expert in your field. There have been hard work and drawbacks of failing experiments, but there have also been many exciting moments of breakthroughs and success that you have encountered during your PhD studies. And at the end of it all, you completed this part of journey with great achievements and beautiful memories. You have attained these impressive milestones in your life with great honor and integrity, and you have built a strong foundation for the next stage of your career. Today, I'm honored to say we are proud of your many achievements over the years, your various accomplishments in almost every aspect as a PhD student. The moments and memories you share with us at USC will forever remain in our hearts. Congratulations again on your graduation and also on your newborn baby. Thank you.
Do we have Jolan here?
Yeah. It's really exciting and kind of emotional to hear the kind words from Professor Wang. So I feel truly fortunate to have Professor Wang as my PhD advisor. So I would like to thank Professor Wang for providing me the precious opportunity to do research in his lab with a high flexibility and ample resources. I also appreciate it for his guidance through time, not only in science, but also in life. I also want to thank all the faculty members in ECE and all the friends that who supported me through this journey. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jodan. I think we have covered all our graduates. Congratulations to everyone. As you saw, right, this relationship between the professor advisor and the students is very special. It's actually, it's a lifelong one. I myself, advisors, and with all the students that have gone through our USC, will always be a part of our university, and part of the legacy, and what you have done has been amazing. And you also saw that like how it's not just a single person's thing, right? The whole ECE department, all the faculty, in fact, help you with this journey. You heard Diane's name about like 1 million times. You heard other people's names 1 million times from across the department, right? Kathy's name, and so everyone has been a part of this joyful journey. We all feel very fortunate to be part of this, have this sort of position in the university, right? Constantly, we are energized by you, your creativity and your presence. Your success is going to be our success. So, best wishes with everything, both personally and professionally. I know, this has been challenging times, and this makes it even extra special how you were able to show your sort of, ability and inspire all of us actually me wanting to, come to campuses, and do work. And so this has been great. Congrats again. I want to give a special shout out to Kathy Wong, my colleague at the Ming-Hsieh Institute, for putting this together. It's such a special occasion. I know it's been a little long, and I contributed a little bit to that, but it's worth it. I think this is like an amazing sort of moment to take and celebrate all what you've done and what you're going to do. So congrats everyone. Celebrate, and we hope that we can continue this, soon enough on campus. The campus is beautiful, and all my colleagues who are here today to sort of join the celebration. So good luck, and stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Congratulations. Remember us. This is your home away from home. Come back and visit. We love to see you. If I forget your name, I'll remember your face, and I'll remember, that time that we sat there and, talked about that. So please, this was your home away from home for many years. And remember, we're a part of it, and that'll never go away. So congratulations, everybody, and the best of luck for the best fantastic future that you can have.
Thank you, Dan. One thing I forgot, right? I want to thank all the family and friends and everyone that joined today. Absolutely made it, extra special. Not only to celebrate your person, but also everyone else. Thank you for joining, and thank you for sending them to USC.
Yeah. It takes a village, It takes a village.
It does. Thank you.
Bye. Congratulations.
Bye. Congratulations.
Everyone, congrats.
Good to see everyone.
Congratulations.
Bye.
Bye.